Man, shout out to my boy Trump, man. Trump being Trump like always. The new latest headline is Trump is on the CDC's behind because he wants factual data and statistics saying that the COVID vaccine drugs actually worked and they actually did do preventative measures to actually make sure it was beneficial to the human beings that took it. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but back in the day when we actually had a COVID epidemic or pandemic, Trump was one of the biggest supporters of the COVID vaccines, which I mean makes sense. He was the president at the time, and he heavily pushed it. But at the end of the day, it was like, what else? What else do we got? So I give him a big ups for actually going back and saying, you know what? Even though I did push it and I said this, that, and the third, I would like somebody to actually give me factual data for me to stand on. Some of y'all should have said he should have did that in the first place. I agree with that to a certain extent, but one thing y'all have to remember that Trump is a human being just like everybody else. He's one man and he doesn't know everything. He probably leaned on his scientists and his counsel to tell him that it worked, and they did their due diligence like every drug's supposed to go through. They probably did it. At least that's what they're saying. Now he's saying, show me facts, show me proof, and the CDC is having a big problem with that. I'm gonna play the video for y'all.
Monitors takes us to the White House as President Donald Trump makes headlines yet again, this time while he's celebrating Labor Day. You can see the president here making his way to the golf club in Washington today, but not before taking to social media. He spent the last 24 hours posting about a range of topics, including National Guard troops in Chicago and the future of tariffs. His latest post focused on COVID as his administration ramps up its criticism of the CDC and the vaccines. Trump said this. He said it is very important that the drug companies justify the success of the various COVID drugs. He went on to say many people think they are a miracle that saved millions of lives. Others disagree. With the CDC being ripped apart over this question, I want the answer, and I want it now. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes, he should put you on the phone. Nancy, we know you've got some answers here.
See, basically what I just said, I'm pretty sure they told him all this data and statistics saying that it was a successful drug and we saved millions of lives, and he took it and ran with it. Like most presidents would. It made him look like the hero. It made everybody look like they were heroes, and it made billions of dollars 9 times out of 10. So, go figure.
Laboring on a Labor Day, my friend. Oh, you're over here. I'm turning the wrong way. You're laboring on a Labor Day. We're glad for it. So this post comes just days after the Trump administration fired CDC Director Susan Monterez. What do you make of this post, and what's the end?
Trump know one thing he good at is firing somebody. That motherfucker know he'll fire somebody. I don't think it's nobody he hasn't fired yet.
For the administration.
Reed, what I make of it is that somebody is clearly arguing to the president that Operation Warp Speed was not the success that he has always argued that it was. Just a few weeks ago, I asked him about Operation Warp Speed in the Oval Office. He didn't hesitate. He said it had been a massive success. That's what all the scientists say, that Operation Warp Speed, making that COVID vaccine as quickly as the scientific community did, saved millions of lives. So to see the president now suddenly expressing doubt about that is a sign that someone, whether it is RFK Jr., his health secretary, or other vaccine skeptics, making the claim that it isn't. And now President Trump says he wants more proof because he said he knows what the vaccine companies are saying, but he wants to see more. And this is really emblematic, Reed, of this larger debate that is suddenly taking place after RFK Jr. pushed for the new CDC director, who had only been in her post for a month, who said that she believed in the science behind vaccines, she was suddenly fired by the president of the United States. And there's this really remarkable new op-ed that is out today from 9 former CDC directors and acting CDC directors. They are Republican appointees, Democratic appointees, all saying that they're very concerned about the things that the health secretary, RFK Jr., is saying and doing. They said
I just want to point out the fact that it was so many celebrities or just people with a platform in general saying that people didn't get vaccines, they were dumb, they don't care about their lives, they don't care about the lives of others. And now look at this shit. This is the same thing. Like me personally, I didn't take a vaccine. I've never took a vaccine, flu vaccine, or anything of the sort because stuff like this happens. You can't trust people just because they say something. And a lot of times you got to understand that everybody, even these big organizations with all these regulations and deadlines and guidelines, they're still human. People miss stuff. People skip steps. people just don't care because it's profitable. Like, you gotta understand that you can't trust people just because you're told to trust them. We don't know these people. We don't know how they are. We don't know nothing about them. We don't know them from a can of paint. So that's why a lot of people were skeptical of the drug. And now everybody ran out and took it. We don't know the side effects. We don't know if it really worked or not. Or they just injecting you with some shit that you didn't even need. That's what you got to think about when they just start pushing drugs on you. You wouldn't just take a drug off a random guy on the street if he says it does something incredible, would you? No, you would want to have some type of proof. And unfortunately, a lot of people were guinea pigs. So, hey, hopefully, it's not detrimental to anybody's health. Hopefully, it does work like they say they do, like they say it do. Or, but I just hope for the sake of all the people that took it, there's no negative side effects or permanent effects. Because I've heard rumors about it being some, but I don't have anything set in stone that I can prove and have data and statistics on. So I don't really want to go and take it and run with it. But I am curious to know, did it have any long-term effects or damages?
Focusing on unproven treatments over scientifically proven results. They say he's firing thousands of health workers, canceling investments in medical research, and replacing experts with unqualified individuals. Basically, they are sounding the alarm as loudly as they can, Reed, and arguing that his beliefs, his positions, his actions could cost lives.
Nancy, we also saw the president post about a potential executive order regarding mail-in ballots and voter ID. I want to ask you, what do you know about that and what the timeline is there?
We haven't gotten a timeline from the White House. The president has said repeatedly now.
Now I'm going to stop it there. I really don't want to go into the voter ID and the illegals and everything in this video. I want to focus on the drug companies. Now, one thing I give Trump semi credit for is he will admit he's wrong, but not he won't say I'm wrong, but he would say we were wrong, or he would say they were wrong, even though he's basically saying I was wrong. Like with the COVID vaccine, like I said, he's not a doctor, he's not a scientist. I'm pretty sure he wasn't there during the trials of the actual drug being made. He just went, he trusted his professionals. He read the paperwork, maybe. I'm pretty sure they had to present some type of presentation to him to show that the drug was effective or anything of that nature. So he just said it in the tweet that he saw plenty of paperwork saying that it was beneficial and that it worked. But at the end of the day, like I said, he's human. I'm pretty sure he didn't read everything verbatim. So at the end of the day, but he does admit he's wrong. No, he admits that they were wrong, but he just doesn't take the blame. Like, he's going to blame the CDC. He's going to blame the FDA. He's going to blame everybody but himself. Because technically, he's not a scientist or a doctor. He's just the one that makes the final say-so. But they're supposed to present and let him know the pros and cons of this drug. Is it safe? And this, that, and the third. And the side effects. So, at the end of the day, I can't say his hands are completely clean. But I can honestly say, personally, in my opinion, it's not really his fault if it doesn't work out the way they say it would have worked out. Because it was never his area. That's not his area of expertise. Trump is a businessman. America is a business. Running the country is a business. That has nothing to do with science. So you can't blame him for scientific stuff not working. I'm just putting that out there. But he does come back a lot of times and redo stuff he vouched for or anything and say, but when he get new information, he says, "Oh, I'm coming back. I was informed this and I was led to believe this and they lied to me. They were wrong." He's going to say they. But still, he still comes back. Even if he don't want to take the blame, I'll give him his props, because most presidents or politicians wouldn't even come back. They would just wait till the next guy get in office and say, "Oh, well, I'm not in office no more. Even if I did mess up, what can they do to me?" You get what I'm saying? So you gotta give props where props is due. And I know a lot of people don't like Trump, but at the same time, a lot of people do. Ask the Capitol. So, hey, I'm one of the people that actually kind of support Trump. Like I said, I don't like everything he does. Some stuff he could do differently or better, some would say. But like I said, compared to a lot of presidents, he's definitely not the worst. And he's one of the most honest, transparent ones out of the ones we've had. So I'm here for it, man. Go in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on y'all post notifications. Watch other videos on my channel besides my reaction videos, because I actually do have some good content on my page. I appreciate everybody for giving my video a chance. Thank y'all. I'm out.